All the evidence said that it couldn't be done, that this shot was impossible. It was far outside the recognised range of the rifle. I was out of adjustment in my scope, and my position was appalling. Every time the rifle recoiled, a little chunk of wall broke away, and I had to hold the bipod with my left hand just to stop it falling off. Accurate shooting is all about the minimal transference of interference to the weapon. I was struggling with that one today. 4 pounds of pull is all that it takes to cause the trigger to break. Once the hammer falls, the 16.2 gram bullet will leave the barrel at a speed of around 3,000 feet per second. I calculated that the bullet would take almost 6 seconds to reach the Taliban machine gun crew. At this range, every variable came into effect. Wind speed, temperature, humidity. Even the Earth's rotation in that 6 seconds would all affect the trajectory of the bullet. That's a lot to think about. And underneath all of that was a twisting sense of urgency, knowing that time was running out. I pushed all of the information and background noise out of my mind and focused again on my breathing. As the crackle and bang of gunfire from the valley faded away, all I could hear was the thud of my heart. Through my scope, I saw the gentle rise and fall of the crosshairs on the target, and with each exhale, I settled my aiming point onto the Taliban machine gunner. Even with the magnification of the scope, the target was tiny, but I could clearly see the gunner and the weapon firing. On my final exhale, I paused, and my world went still, perfectly still. I was like a statue, with only the very tip of my index finger able to move. I willed my finger to start the pull, and felt the briefest of resistance before the 4 pounds was taken up. The trigger broke, and the rifle fired. It recoiled solidly into my shoulder, and the scope rose off target before settling back down. Cliff, my spotter, had a telescope with far greater magnification than my telescopic sight, and was able to see more detail. While staring through my own scope, my right ear was straining, waiting to hear what Cliff said. The seconds slowly ticked by. Count 6 seconds now, and you will see what I mean. A lot can change in that time. Most importantly, the target could move. After what seemed like a lifetime, Cliff suddenly spoke. "Miss," I cursed, before getting a grip of myself. I cycled the bolt, chambering a fresh round, and started my firing sequence all over again. I got control of my breathing, took up the slack in the trigger, and got my aiming point back on the target. I know I can make this shot. I have to make this shot.